This is Super Chefs of the Universe Television, and we have a distinguished guest. It's the UBC Alumni Weekend, and we have Chuck Slonecker with us, who, amazingly enough, is a dentist, but actually is taught anatomy as well, which shows two obvious, real, sincere interests in disciplines. The Super Chefs of the Universe are a program designed for children to get them interested very early in nutrition to prevent disease from obesity. Do you agree nutrition is playing a huge role now, and that we've got a legion of children, generations, who could well not live as long as we did?
I agree with that, and I think that again, their diets are really not controlled by themselves and their families as much as they're controlled by what's really being advertised and commercial to them.
A subtle nuance of Super Chefs is we feel if the children could be empowered with recipes, it somehow or another may draw the family back to having a family meal, even if it's shorter than ever. Because right now that family meal is thrown together quickly by working parents. There's all kinds of socioeconomic pressures. But nonetheless, if children's health is failing, and it looks like we've got children, 1 in 3 is obese, 1 in 5, or 1 in 5 is obese, 1 in 3 is overweight. What role could dentists play in being able to prevent or at least make educated guesses and make awareness happen for patients?
Well, I think encouraging them to eat the right kinds of food and for their dental, for prevention of dental problems could also help in preventing some of the obesity problems.
You were saying when we were talking earlier that something came along in late 48 to 50 that changed a lot of dental habits. Would you repeat that story for the camera?
Yeah, I often say that my parents were edentulous by the time they were 25 years old, and many people in my family were edentulous, and this was in the 1940s. And the thing that I always was amazed about how the toothbrush became really an important factor in people's life when I was a teenager. And the thing that spirited it was the jet engine, because when people started flying jets, they couldn't really have dentition that had a lot of work on it, because if they'd suffer ariodontology. I mean, if they get up to 5,000 feet, there would be pain in their dentition. So one of the rules kind of coming back from the Air Force was if you wanted to be a pilot, you had to have very, very good dentition. So people started brushing their teeth, and people really were trying to prevent from getting into dental caries. And if you look at the kind of people that were in the Air Force and flying jets in the 40s and the early 50s, they were usually people from Wisconsin, from Minnesota, from Michigan, and from Texas and from Oklahoma, because this is where water was fluoridated, and these kids naturally had good dentitions and weren't in it. But if you were from a place like the state of Washington, where I was, that there was a fair amount of decay for most kids when they were teenagers at that time. So I think that opportunity for the future depended upon having a good dentition, and so people started taking care of it. And I think that if you took obesity and convinced people that that was an opportunity for the future for them, they would be much more serious about that.
Do you think that dentists can play an active role in the obesity fight? I mean, you've got dentists like Greg who literally fund out of his own pocket all these super chefs, these children. He's taken them to Taku, to the Zajac Ranch, gotten Jean-Luc Baron, a French-trained chef, to sign their certificates, and now they are chefs. That's one fight. Could the dentists make an impact on this, and are they the only ones?
Well, I don't think they're the only ones, but I think they could make an impact. Matter of fact, right now, a big impact they make is cosmetic dentistry for kids. And so being able to have a student in a chair and have that student feel that they're really getting more opportunities to interface with their colleagues because they've got a great dentition. They could also be convincing them if they were in good physical health and everything like that, that would also be more attractive to their appearance.
As a professional in dentistry, what is the correlation between good teeth and general intelligence and brain power? Is there?
I'm not sure about that, but I think that people that are happy probably have a better opportunity to learn than people that are not happy.
So as dentistry progresses as an industry, do you ever see the day when dentist's role will be different and there will not be filling, there will not be the way it is now, the mechanical side of it? Will that change in time?
Well, I think it's already changed. I don't think that there's as much dental decay in teenagers and young adults as there was certainly in my era and that sort of thing. And so I think that, matter of fact, I think dentistry really is going to have to provide more services than just restoration.
It's a pretty exciting field to be in then still.
It is, because it's really, it becomes a health field, and that's always been the thing. One thing about dentistry, I went through dentistry when it was really a mechanical thing. A lot of gold foil, a lot of gold crowns, a lot of really mechanical things. A lot of engineers in dentistry when I went through, and it was typical of that kind of thing. But I think now, I think that dentistry is more than that. I think a lot of it's prevention, and a lot of it is having people feel better about themselves.
I'd like to thank you for your time spent, and have you any words of encouragement for super chefs, young kids who will view this and they will say, wow, maybe cooking is something that it's not just the cooking, it's the eating, it's the understanding of the science of nutrition. Anything to say to them?
Well, I think it is. I'll tell you, there's a lot more men cooking now than there were before, and it's almost a lifestyle. They love it. They come home, they barbecue, they do this sort of thing, and I think young people are more interested in getting into cooking. I think that a lot of us learned how to cook in the 40s and stuff because we couldn't afford to go out and eat. And so your mother taught you how to cook. But right now, its tendency is to encourage people not to cook at home, and I think that could be turned around.
You've been a great contributor to the show today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.